Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships Legends on mobile, because I don't actually have a console to play on. So, I have been mostly going down the German battleship line at this point, and initially had, a lot of fun on these. Coming from Warships Blitz, my initial thoughts were, well, they're German battleships, they have lots of secondaries, they're brawlers, this is gonna be fun. German battleships are my favorite line on Warships Blitz when it comes to battleships, so I figured I'd do that. So I have reached the Bayern, and I'd say, have a semi-decent setup by now. Obviously, I've spec'd the whole ship for secondaries. I am sailing with Otto Celiax here, and he's currently got inspiration from von Hipper for increased secondary range, and Cunningham, who I haven't upgraded yet, for main battery precision. And himself, he brings a couple of skills to the party around, secondary range and secondary reload and all these kind of things. So he's at rank 11. From here on out, it's going to get relatively expensive to upgrade him. Plus, he's got the 2 inspirations, so I figured that's a good start. And my Bayern itself has not been... Where do I see this? Here, of course, in the last one. Has not been fully researched yet, so I'm still missing the 3rd research slot. I am sailing with the secondary module, obviously, for an additional 20% secondary range. And I've got the propulsion mod for increased acceleration in this at the moment. And in terms of research, I've done the targeting system for additional firing range on the main battery. And I've got the whole B, which has, I think, additional 105 mils on the secondaries, but I'm not, or a change to 105 millimeter on the secondaries, I'm not 100% certain. And the one I'm still missing is the engine for an improved maximum speed. That will come with the 3rd slot once that's researched. So with all that, if taking that into account, if we are looking at the guns, the secondaries are up to 6.7 kilometer range. So I thought, well, you know what, I am just going to, go in and brawl. After all, I'm in a tanky battleship. Well, this is Warships Legends, things are slightly different here. And I found that I have more success playing, even if it's a German battleship, playing it mostly like a battleship and not like a secondary monster. It's good to have the secondaries, but these are all automatic secondaries. And usually if you rush ahead or try to fight out in open water and tank, things don't go so well. So I found that playing as a more traditional battleship and using the secondaries only very situationally was a more successful strategy. I'm still sticking with my secondary build for now, but we'll see. Maybe I need something that just gets a higher firing range in the next ships in the line when it comes to the secondaries. But at least with the Bayern, I found myself being more successful playing as a traditional battleship. Let me show you. I am in a tier 6 game, and there are 2 enemy destroyers, Hatsuharu and I think it's a Leibericht Mars. So definitely gotta watch out for those. And no carriers, only two cruisers, the rest are battleships. So generally the way I would play in Warships Blitz when it comes to German battleships is to look at an opportunity to break through and open up possibilities for my team. The problem is the rather unpleasant effectiveness of shells against your armor. If you're broadsiding, even if you're in a German battleship, this will hurt. And if you're not broadsiding, you get HE spammed into oblivion very, very rapidly. So different mechanics require different adjustments, which means I am not going to rush straight through the capture circle, but I don't know what that cruiser is doing. He is reversing. Okay, sure, you do you, buddy. But I do have another cruiser here with me, and there is a Fuso to shoot at, but I haven't gotten my guns lined up just yet. Cruiser calls out areas on the maps, and I'm just more than happy to oblige because I'm a new player. I don't know the ropes yet. I'm not familiar with the maps, so I'm just gonna play it carefully. and see that I get my guns lined up and maybe get some shots out at that Fuso over there, who is very nicely broadsiding, but of course is 14 kilometers away, so not the greatest hope of hitting very much there, but if I get some lucky shots, that would be good. And the reversing cruiser has decided to join the party. And, well, 5,000 damage, I'll take it at that range. Citadel would have been nice, but, you know, can't have everything. But I'm going to sail outside the island here for now, because I'm in a battleship, I'm very big, and I am surprisingly easy to destroy if focus fired. I mean, cruisers are more easy to destroy, but they're more maneuverable than I am, so I do have to be a little careful here. And the La Galicianaire in our team is doing a good job communicating what he is, what he is thinking and what we're going to go for. So he's painting targets, which I am trying to get into an angle, because the cruisers over there near the enemy cap, and I am spotted. So I'm letting the team know, just you know, that there's something in spotting range here, because that Gokase over there is defensive against the rest of my team over in C cap, and there were enemy torpedoes in the water, which is another reason why I don't just rush into the capture circle. Yep. And now I'm in a flanking position to that enemy position there. The Gokase is now suddenly fully broadsiding to a battleship that he didn't see because I wasn't really spotted while I was sailing behind the island. Now has to dislodge himself from his position there, and we'll see if he got unspotted. That's unfortunate. I will try to delete that Mysore over there while I'm at it, even though there is a low health battleship. And again, they're calling targets here. Okay, that needed a bit more lead, I think. But we've done some decent damage. I'll probably get another shot out at the Mysore. So let's wait for the guns to reload. And again, there are torpedoes in the water. I'm not sure if that's one of the destroyers, because we've only got one destroyer spotted around C cap for now, or if that was the Gokase. But I am fully broadsiding right now, because none of the enemy battleships does have angles on me as far as I can see. I do want to deal with that Mysore over there. They are calling shots at the Duke of York, but honestly, I want to see first if the Mysore is going to make a full turn. I'm going to give him a salvo. He's obviously not in secondary range, and that has completely missed, so that was a bit of a waste. But I do have to be careful, because there's that Sinop coming out, and he would have probably been a better target. But Mysore appears to be smoking up while I'm tanking the Sinop. That's why you need to angle your armor. And Sinop is going behind the island, so that was mildly unfortunate. I was hoping that the Mysore would have been turning around, but I'm not rushing that. First of all, I don't know if that thing's got torpedoes or not. And there was a Gokase back there, and he definitely has torpedoes that can reach. But I'm still have got my rear turrets on target, and at 8 kilometers, that is probably enough of a broadside to do that here, exactly. Yep. One does not simply in a cruiser. Anyway, he was in A cap, but there's still something in A cap. So there's an enemy destroyer in A cap, which means I am not going to be rushing into A cap. One of the destroyers is here. My cruiser has disengaged, and I'm going to stay out of A cap, because otherwise I'm going to get torpedoed. In fact, I'm going to make very fast steps past the little island over there, and try to see if I can unload, lobbing at the Sinop. Yep, Galicianaire calls out the Sinop. I agree. Yes, I can, in fact. So A cap is about to fall, and there come the torpedoes, which is why I've already been varying my course and speed and not sailing at the same speed. I'm really not used to German battleships not having sonar. This is something from Blitz that I'm very much used to. So anyway, I am now being targeted by a destroyer in A cap. I am not going to be able to do anything about that, because the destroyer can outmaneuver me, and he can just one-shot me with torpedoes. So I am still going to go behind the island here. I'm still spotted. That's the destroyer, obviously. And I'm just going to try and do something about the sim, make myself useful. And if the cruisers decide that they're going to go back into the cap, then I'm all for that. But we're leading on points at the moment, because we are leading on kills. So I'm not too concerned. That Fuso is still there, who I probably should have killed earlier on. So let's see if I can rectify my mistake here. I'm still spotted, so the destroyer, I'm still within visual range of the destroyer, but he now no longer has an option of actually torpedoing me that easily, because I am, well, I've got an island between myself and where I think the destroyer is going to be. So shots out at the Fuso, that's the Fuso done, a mistake from earlier rectified, Fuso deleted, which leaves the Sinop, which if I look at the minimap is bow in here, and there's the destroyer. He's behind the island on the other side, so if I had stayed there, he would just have torpedoed me to death. I would have never seen a destroyer coming in the first place, so I'm using the island for torpedo defense. Yep, there it is, there's the destroyer, and it's the Leberecht Maas. So, oh, Sinop is coming out, and I should have two of my turrets reloaded in a second. So I'm going to leave the Leberecht Maas to the cruisers and unload at that Sinop, because he is going defensive against my team that is coming out of Sea Cup, which means he is going broadsiding against me. He's noticed that, he's turning, unfortunately, which means this has done relatively little damage. But Galissonier has got sonar apparently, and Sinop's just gotten himself deleted. So there goes my my damage, unfortunately. But the Leberecht Maas is now apparently chasing after me. So, well, I don't want to stay here. I'm not confident that I can take on a destroyer in a battleship alone. So I am switching to high explosive. Got a couple shots on. Yep, he's smoking up. So I am not actually going to be able to see him. Was he smoking up? Maybe he wasn't. I thought he was smoking up. Anyway, he's just got it undetected. So last thing I know, he's been chasing after me. So, and I'm relatively alone here, so I'm not just going to, sit around and get myself torpedoed. I'm just going to vary my course and speed, point the stern up towards the danger at this point, and see if he's coming around again. I don't want to give broadside here, but I'm sailing at 3/4 speed, trying to determine from potentially incoming torpedoes where that destroyer went next. Now, one thing I really need to do is study what the ships in my tier are capable of. For example, I have no idea what the torpedo range of a Leberecht Maas is. I'll have to look that up, because I know these values for Blitz, but not for Legends. So, yeah, friendly destroyer is now coming into A Cup. I should be reasonably safe, depending on how closely that destroyer has been shadowing me. And we are cupping A, so he's not back in the capture circle. And I'm still spotted, so that's obviously the destroyer. So I know that he is within my detection range, but I don't know where he is. So, well, there he is. He decided to return to the capture circle and has abandoned the chase after all, and is trying to defend the cup, which is going to help him because he's the last ship alive. So at this point, I can just get my guns on target. Let's see if he manages to stop, or if I can land a couple of HE shells on him. In that position where he just slowed down. Well, we got a hit on there. That's nice, and destroyed something. And that's pretty much game. I mean, they've lost at this point comprehensively anyway, but that is game. So, have I used my secondaries? I believe I haven't. But had I rushed into the capture circle early on, I would have died, and I wouldn't have been gotten to use my secondaries either. So, last blind fire into the smoke. Most of the games, I find that... Oh, actually, just when I blind fire into the smoke, he pops out of his smoke screen. That's unfortunate. Anyway, most games I find that, at least with the Bayern so far, with the 6.7 kilometer secondary range, mostly I'll play more like a traditional battleship. Make sure that I'm angling away from large shells, make sure that I'm being aware of where torpedoes are going, and not get into close-range engagements with destroyers. In Warships Blitz, if you are in a German battleship, destroyers generally tend to be careful with you, because you have sonar, and you've got some really, really nasty secondaries with armor piercing that do a lot of damage. But here, it's not quite the same situation, and now that Leberecht Maas, I think, is outside of my range, so there's not an awful lot I'm going to be able to do about that. And he's dead anyway, so that's game. Did I come out on top of the team? Probably not, but I feel I did okay. I would say better than in my previous games, while I'm still learning the ropes here. And maybe the secondary build is not quite the right choice for a ship like the Bayern. Maybe I'm better off using a more like a ranged build. But I'm going to stick with it for now because I just want to, well, I came third, it's not too bad. I'm going to stick for it for now, while I'm still actually grinding up towards the next ship. And from what I've heard, the Gneiss now has an absolutely horrific horrific accuracy with the main guns. So I might have to change my playstyle anyway. At least in Legends, you can just respec your commander for free and switch them around between ships for free, which is very, very refreshing. So there's that. The other line that I'm looking at are the Japanese destroyers, so that's probably something you're going to be seeing next. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thanks everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.